American, pledge allegiance and Kiwanis pledge. Brother Wade is going to accompany us on the piano, and afterwards we'll have the invocation from Kathy Seabock.
Okay, Larry, let's sing. As our country's flag signifies purity, valor, and justice, may we as true Kiwanis exemplify these virtues as we serve the children of the world. Please remain standing. Shall we pray? Dear Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day, for each mind and heart that feels the presence of seats in this room. We thank you. Keep those members who cannot be here today in our prayers. Only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish. We have ideas, visions, and daily instructions. We have talents and abilities and time to work. And for this we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, well, we've got Nick Burton here to introduce our speaker. And we'll turn the time over to him.
Good morning. For some number of years now, people in central Illinois have kind of designated today's speaker as Mr. Agriculture. That if you wanted to know something about what was going on with farming in this part of the world, the guy to ask was Stu Ellis. You've seen his bio, you know the background that he has and his work that he's done. One accomplishment that you might not be aware of, you know, when the Farm Progress show started, it was not in one location. It got moved around every year to different farms. So, you know, a farm in Iowa and then a farm in Illinois and back and forth, but it was not in one set location. Stu was really the mover and shaker about seeing that the Farm Progress show became what it is today in terms of an established residence. It's not moved around and you can see what it's become. So let's give a nice welcome to our speaker today, Stu.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. There we go. That was perfect. That was perfect. I am honored to be here, and I appreciate it. And I was quite intrigued by the camera back there, the fact that your programs were being recorded and online, so that people can, if they happen to miss them, they could catch up with it. And I found that out at 1:20 this morning. I got an email at 1:20 this morning. The phone went ding, 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 ding. And fellow said, "I'm sorry that I'm not going to be here to hear your presentation this morning." So, but he said, "I'm going to be watching it on YouTube." Well, I didn't know that that was a possibility. So I want to say hello to Mark Avery, who is watching this on TV this morning or whatever, and tell him to go back to sleep now. I know that this is the day that you all shell peanuts, and you've got a big job ahead of you, and so does Dick, and so he said keep it short, and so I've got my speech very short. But I appreciate the opportunity to talk about agriculture. I will do that anytime, anywhere, even at 1 o'clock in the morning. As you have probably watched fields around central Illinois this year, you've been amazed that things look really, really good. And they have generally looked that way. We had a little bit of some heat and then cold and then heat again early in the spring, and it created a little bit of problem for, well, when farmers plant. And planting and when you plant is very, very important, because it really determines how that crop gets off to a start. Corn is very finicky. It does not like cold temperatures. Soybeans can care less. And so when I was growing up on the farm north of Taylorville, why we always planted corn first, then we planted soybeans. And I think if you talk to anybody who was in agriculture up until about 10, 15 years ago, everybody would plant corn first and then plant soybeans. But now with science and genetics bred into those soybeans, you can put them in the ground in a cold environment in March, and as long as it's just not really bad, why, they'll come up and be happy. And at that point, they're off to a good start, and then you can plant corn when it's ready to be happy. And the interesting part about the soybeans, if you get them up and out early, you get them really in a vegetative stage where they are having a lot of leaves and an absorbing sun on a very important day, and that's June 21st, and that's the longest day we get sunlight. And so if the soybeans like sunlight, and so you can get as much vegetation on that soybean early, why it's going to do all that much better. And so that's why farmers are really trying to plant soybeans early, so they're getting as many leaves on that soybean plant for the long period, the long photo period, going into June and into July. At that point, leaves are on, blooms are out, and we get pods on the beans. Just at the first of the month, the USDA went out and went on to fields in all of the corn and soybean growing states to kind of figure out how much was going to be produced. And they came up with 16.8 billion bushels. We'd never seen a number like that before. No number ever had a 1 and a 6 in it. Last year was 15, and everybody thought, whoa, that is really big. And it was. But now, suddenly this year, we've got 16.8. And the yield, 186.7 bushels of corn per acre, averaged all across from the farthest west field in the Dakotas to the farthest east field in Pennsylvania. And so we're thinking about how what we're going to do with all this. Well, the good thing is that corn has been in great demand around the world. And we will be when the marketing year ended at the end of August, the U.S. had exported 2.5 billion bushels, and that was the biggest ever. Projection for this year, the marketing year that began the 1st of September and will go through the end of next August, USDA is projecting that we will export 2.8 billion bushels. Farmers haven't seen anything like that. We're just hoping that happens. We're also hoping that because of that 186 bushel average at 16.8 billion, that 2.8 might go into the 3 billion bushel range. You got to get rid of it because that's a problem. Right now, the prices of corn are quite depressed. December corn futures are just 4.25 bushel, and you think, well, that's not a bad price. Well, for your dad, it wasn't. For today's farmers who are spending probably about $4.85 to $5 a bushel to raise that, that's not a good price because farmers are going to be losing money on corn that's 4.25 right now. And unless there's something that's going to come along and gobble it all up, we'll get to that in a moment. Soybeans are about the same way. We're going to raise a 4.3 billion bushel soybean crop. We don't typically do that. But the USDA measured 53.5 bushels per acre, and we say, well, China's going to buy all of that. And the last few years, they purchased almost 1 billion bushels of our beans, which is good. Beginning the 1st of September, they normally have purchased about a quarter of what they would normally purchase. They haven't purchased a single bean from the U.S., not a single one for this marketing year. They didn't like all the tariffs that Mr. Trump put on their goods coming into the U.S. And so they have just finished up a 450 million bushel purchase of soybeans from Brazil. That followed a 230 million bushel purchase a couple of months ago. They've got 250 million bushels of soybeans already in storage. They won't say how many millions of bushels the Chinese farmers are growing on their own this year. But there is a very good chance that China will not purchase a single bean from the U.S. And that means that we will have a carryover of possibly somewhere near 1 billion bushels of soybeans unless something magical happens. And nobody is venturing any idea on what that might happen. Right now, anybody have relatives or family or anybody up in the Dakotas? Okay, give them my sympathy. Normally soybeans, there's pretty good, healthy, South Dakota is about the fifth or sixth largest soybean producing state. And normally they ship all of their soybeans going out of Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota. They all go on the rail line out to the Pacific Northwest. They get on a boat, they go to China. And without those Chinese ships coming into Vancouver and other ports out there have been no soybeans on trains going out that direction. And they still have soybeans left in elevators from last year. And they got a pretty good crop up there. And they have no market, nowhere to go with those soybeans. And right now, soybeans here in the U.S., on the Chicago Board of Trade, are below production prices also. But they're even $1 to $2 less than that up in the Dakotas. And they're ready to harvest. Elevators are already full. There's no place to put them. And they're having difficulty figuring out what they're going to do with their crop up there in the Dakotas. They may all be in big long plastic bags but that's millions and millions of bushels of soybeans up there, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. Something has to happen, and we hope it happens very soon. And it could happen that will benefit corn. The folks who deal with biofuels are becoming rather excited. And as you know, we produce billion gallons of ethanol here in Decatur. I'm not sure exactly how many. ADM doesn't really want to say, and I can understand that. But Illinois will produce here in the state somewhere over a billion gallons. And as the USDA has to decide just exactly what we're going to do with all that, they put a target of how many gallons or how much percentage of ethanol can be blended, or how much ethanol can be blended into a gallon of gasoline. And that has been rising from year to year, very slowly. We could probably put in a lot more than what the EPA says. I know if we turned on all the ethanol plants around the country, they could do that. Or if that percentage doesn't go up, they could use ethanol and gasoline a little bit more than they do, not just in the summer, but year round. And right now, technology that comes out of Detroit allows engines to use ethanol year round. And your engine doesn't look at the calendar. It's happy to burn ethanol blended gasoline year round. And then there's some thought in Congress that could easily happen, and to allow year-round ethanol and not just in the summer for a blend that's 15% ethanol. Normally you're putting in 10% in your car. The summertime allowance is 15%. California has not allowed really 15% at all gasoline in their cars, and the California Senate, after the House out there approved 15% ethanol, the California Senate voted unanimously to allow 15% ethanol. The governor out there, who had been anti-ethanol, has lately said, well, ethanol seems to be a pretty good idea because it's good for the environment. Ding, 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 ding. And that was pretty good news. And that almost sounded like he would sign the legislation that allows California to use 15% ethanol. Well, that's the biggest gasoline consuming state in the country. Suddenly there's another market for 600 million gallons of ethanol just in his signature, depending on that. And by using year-round ethanol, if Congress allows, suddenly we have a major market for a lot more ethanol, which means a lot more corn going into ethanol plants. And corn growers are becoming giddy about that opportunity and that possibility. So, and at that point, that could raise the market price for corn above what the production cost is. And that would make bankers happy, because there's an awful lot of farmers that are depending upon bankers these days. A lot more than there were last year and a lot more than there were the year before. And so as farmers have been depending upon loan officers to keep them afloat, why there's a whole chain of economy that stretches all the way from farmland to big cities that's quite excited about this opportunity. And so one of the reasons that people are thinking that Congress may do something positive is a Republican senator over in Iowa the name of Charles Grassley. Senator Grassley happens to farm. He claims to be a farmer, but he spends most of his time in Washington, and that's okay. He's a very young, 80-plus senator, and he likes to take care of agriculture in Congress, and he does a pretty good job. And he indicated that he thinks that in his quote unquote Trump tariffs are the reason for the current farm economy. And he said that China has created havoc with the farm economy because of the tariffs, and we need to do something about it. And with his effort to do something in Congress with that, and there are more and more members of Congress who are kind of scratching their heads and wondering, what are we doing? And then thinking, well, there's some opportunity with ethanol. There may be some congressional action that we need to watch coming very soon that would cover two things in that direction. And we'll have to see if the farm economy gets bailed out with those actions. When Trump was in office a few years ago, he took, I think it was some $28 billion and kind of spread it around the farm economy to farmers. It was just a bailout after he had taken some actions that really hurt at that time. And when the Deputy Secretary of Agriculture was at the Farm Progress Show a couple of weeks ago, he said, well, we're thinking about another bailout like happened 4 years ago. And so farmers aren't really happy about that. It not only has a negative connotation, but it's not divided equally around the country, or even where it's needed around the country. And so that might be something that people in Washington are looking at. Farmers themselves would rather have something different. And that was certainly obvious last week down in Arkansas. There were supposed to be some members of Congress meeting Arkansas. The Arkansas congressional delegation was going to meet in a certain town and invite some farmers, what they thought about the farm economy. And they were thinking there might be a couple dozen would come in. There were 400 that appeared. And they had to move it from just a conference room to a high school gymnasium just to have enough chairs. And the farmers were very upset about the farm economy. And that was in a red state. And we'll have to see what happens with something like that. So much for the farm economy. Something that's also people will wonder about, land prices, cash rents. Not sure how many of you may have farmland that someone cash rents to farm. If you've had negotiations for the 2026 crop, that farmer probably has said, hey, could we go down a little bit? That's happening across the country. And the University of Illinois ag economists are saying the average cash rent will have to come down $35 per acre for next year just to allow that farm operator to even think about breaking even. And but they know that that's not going to happen. And so they're recommending at least a $5 to $10 reduction in cash rent for next year for land to get them headed down. So those are some of the issues that I thought that you might be interested in knowing. And if anybody has a question, well, I'd be very, very happy to at least put a little bit of an answer to it.
Hi, Stu. I have farmland and my brother farms it in a cash rent. And I'm wondering, what percentage of the US economy is farm-related income?
And that's a number that I don't know. I've never seen the USDA's Economic Research Service to put a number to that. It will vary a small amount from year to year, but compared to what the big economy varies, I don't know. But based on the fact that there's agriculture in every county across the country, why it's going to affect everybody, no matter how big that percentage is. People are going to be affected, and it's going to show up in grocery stores. It's going to show up in SNAP for the people that are being denied food assistance, but it'll affect everybody when it goes up and down. Thank you. Good question.
We have a question here.
Good morning. First of all, thank you for what you've done with Farm Progress.
Thank you.
Obviously, to everybody here, we all know what a tremendous impact that has made on this community. So, thank you for that. That's incredible that you were a major part of that. I'm kind of curious, going back to your comments about the soybean situation in the Dakotas. Back in 2020, we had a situation where in the oil industry, there was no capacity for storage at one point. And actually, oil prices even turned negative for a very short period of time because it became a situation where the operators had to pay people to take the oil from them because they just could not store it. They had nowhere for it to go. Is that potentially a situation that could occur here, or are there other ways to mitigate that situation?
Well, the fact that there's how much it would go down, it will go down. It won't go into a negative situation, I'm sure, because soybeans can certainly be burned as fuel if they had to be burned. But if there will be, what the government will probably do is make sure that farmers will have some funds. When they need 100, they may get $10 or $15. But the government used to have, when I was growing up, the government had storage bins all around the country. Maybe you can remember some of those. And they would take that excess grain and put those in bins and then provide funds for a farmer. A farmer could get so many dollars or so many cents for putting in a bushel of beans or corn in that. So the infrastructure really at this point is not there. And so we're just going to have to find out what's going to happen. The pinch point is how many farms will be lost because of this situation. Bankers know that.
Okay, earlier you were talking about the alcohol going into the gasoline. They don't want it to go in the winter right now. And I remember when I lived in northern Illinois, you had to put alcohol in your gasoline to keep it from getting fuel line freeze. Why are they not allowing it?
It's not really freezing up. It's basically the way the atmosphere absorbs the differences in emissions, and that's the critical point.
Okay, I have a comment and a question. My comment is that my dad was a farmer, grew up on a farm, and he always said it was very scientific when you plant corn. It's when the oak leaf is the size of a squirrel's ear. That's when you planted corn. So, and that seemed to work back then. So I don't know if that's still the case or not.
Well, it's the temperature is the same from that day to this day. It's that temperature factor.
All right. And what is the cost of farmland to be leased? What is that per acre?
It's going to vary a lot depending upon what the land is and the soil. Good farmland, Class A farmland right around here is going to be between about 18 and 20,000 at this point, and per acre. There's been several sales down in northern Christian County that have been from 20 to 21. but good Class A farmland, something that you would like to have that would be growing 250 bushel corn is going to be somewhere 20,000 plus or minus.
Stu, I was reading something this morning that said something to the effect that there were a number of increasing bankruptcies on farms. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yes. Right now, the number is, I think the last number I saw was 250 this year. And it was expected to go up for next year. And it's just been, those numbers come from the Federal Reserve ag economists who talk regularly to commercial bankers wanting to know what they've got going on, because that number will go into what the Fed is hearing today as they look at interest rates. And so numbers have been rather scarce. Bankruptcies have been rather scarce. I don't know of any states that have had double-digit bankruptcies in the last 3 or 4 years, but they're scattered around. But now we're seeing states with double-digit bankruptcies, and those are expected to potentially double for next year.
How many years has the Farm Progress Show been in Central Illinois?
Well, we started, the first year here in Decatur was 2005. And the show used to rotate Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and then would rotate from northern Illinois, or central Illinois to northern Illinois. And so, but the Progress City year's first show was 2005.
No, I meant, we had them on farms before that. When did those start?
Oh, the original Farm Progress Show was 1953. And then they scattered around. Total number in Illinois, I can't tell you exactly, but we're happy that it's here.
I'm really not an Illinois person. I mean, I've been living here for 50 plus years, plus on top of that college, but I had never seen a soybean or a huge corn crop like it's grown here. And just in the last couple of years, instead of seeing nothing but corn and soybeans, I've been seeing fields that I'm guessing are wheat. I've also been seeing more people who are just growing a variety of vegetables and selling them. Is this the reason why it seems to be converting a little?
There's a lot of change going on in agriculture. You mentioned wheat. Wheat right now, if you double crop wheat and soybeans, you end up in 1 year, you harvest the wheat in the spring, you harvest the soybeans in the fall. That gross income will provide more than just a corn crop. And so with higher wheat yields, there's a lot of farmers, a lot of them in southern Illinois, but a growing number in central Illinois who are double cropping wheat and soybeans. And so you're seeing that. You're also seeing a lot of crops over the winter, a lot of fields over the winter that are green. Those are called cover crops. Those are planted, designed to pull nutrients out of the soil that farmers have left, whatever they may be, nitrogen, phosphate, potash, anything. Keep those in the plant, turn them back in the soil in the spring, and grow the next crop out of that. And so the nutrients don't go down the river.
Can you get ethanol out of soybeans?
No, you get soybean oil, and soybean oil is used for biodiesel, and there's 2 different kinds of diesel fuel. You can get it from soybeans, and so you'll see ADM's trucks right now are being driven with 100% soybean oil.
Thank you so much. You have a suitable for framing. Yeah. Mark. Roll for Kate. Yeah. Suitable for writing. That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to stay or leave, whatever your schedule.
I need to go take care of something.
Okay, over the next few days, you're gonna have an opportunity to work gold mine. Might not seem like it, but that's really what it is. You're gonna be in the front door of some business somewhere with the opportunity to see what you can do to get people to take peanuts and give you a donation. And, you know, what you have to do is you gotta talk to them, you gotta interact with them. You can't just, you know, I know you'd like to have some peanuts, son, but you know, what we ought to do is we should give these to your dad so that he can make sure that you don't spill them all over the car. My goodness gracious. You got a lot of groceries there. Can you please stick that in your bag? I'd like you to have that. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, look, you got your bag all set there. Very good. That's terrific. All right. One for you and one for your sister there. Okay. You've got to interact. You know, if I were to just go out there and just stand with my peanuts and my 2-hour stint couldn't come to an end, I wouldn't have done any better than if you just put the box out there with the coin by thing next to it. You got to interact, and I know a lot of you say, "Oh, God, Dick, come on. I'm an introvert. I don't do that kind of thing. I don't extend myself out like that, you know." Well, you know what? I want to tell you something. I've taken that thing, I don't know how many times, and every time I come up with the biggest eye you have ever seen. I'm an introvert, okay? But you got to put yourself out when it comes time to doing right by kids and making the money that we need to make to fund our projects, okay? And, you know, what you need to think about in all of this is that the people that you're going to interact with, they're all your neighbors, every one of them. They're all from the Decatur area. They go to their kids go to the same schools, you go to the same churches, go to the same grocery stores. They're your neighbors. And if you deal with them as if they are your neighbor down the street, you're going to do a lot better at helping raise money for the kids, okay? So, get that gold mine going. If you just sit on that gold mine, it's not going to do a thing for anybody. So, get that gold mine going, all right? That's it, I'm done.
Thanks, Dave. Okay, Kathy, what's the situation? Do we have any presentation today?
We're gonna pass today.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, then it's time to turn timer to Tom.
Well, thank you, Jack. You, I don't know what your commission is, but we'll try and come up with it there. Okay. You what?
He gets a percentage off of each peanut.
Yeah, he's working on it anyway. Okay, Linda, what's our attendance today?
We have 44 members present, 1 Kiwanis guest, Doug Warren's here visiting, and 3 guests. Melanie Caputo is here with Joe, he's back. And she just turned in an application and a check.
All right.
And we have Grant Bullock here, is a guest of Dan Seabaugh. And I think he just turned in an application. I don't know if he wants to say anything. And Gerald Falstrom's here sitting with Kristen Hargrove, it's her brother, and he's visiting us today.
Wonderful. Okay. You want to say a few words?
Yeah.
I'll jump in front of you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Gerald Falstrom, Gary Falstrom, he's the other one. Some of you might remember my dad's Bob Falstrom. He worked at the Herald Review for 66 years. I went out and was a kind of a chip off the old block. I went into a career in journalism. I only made it 39. I was a little kind of a slacker. But I'm retired, live in Florida, I've been in Florida for quite a while. And I always like coming back to Decatur. Got my Connie shirt on here. As a kid, used to go out to fans field all the time. And just enjoying like a trip down memory lane back in Decatur. I'm here for my high school reunion at Stephen Decatur High School. It's a 50th anniversary this year, so it's a benchmark year. And I was the last class of the old high school in downtown. And it was also the best class. So, anyway, thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you.
Well, I'm excited to be here today with all of you. When I looked at Kiwanis, I found out that they are in the business to help children, which I'm excited to help and do that also. But then I looked and wondered about the crowd that's here. I wondered if it was mostly older people or mostly younger. And I have decided this morning it's all younger. Then the other critical thing I had to look at before I came today was, do I wear long pants or shorts? Well, I see Dan has shorts on, but most of them have long pants, so I did wear long pants today. And to just give you a little information about myself, for 30 years I was owner-administrator of a nursing home. And I stopped doing that. We moved to Mount Zion, actually, to be near our grandkids, who are now growing up and gone. But during that time, I volunteered with SCORE, helping people start businesses, and did that for, like I said, 8 years. And we've really enjoyed being in Decatur. We moved over to Decatur, right near Kathy and Dan, in the same condo association, and found we didn't know it when we moved, but we just have such wonderful neighbors. It's just wonderful. And I'm excited to become a Kiwanian. So I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Okay, health report with Roberta Williams.
Yes, the first thing I was going to do today was talk about poor Joel, who wasn't going to be here, I thought. Joel had hand surgery last week, and he's doing so well, he decided to come and try to do his usual thing, so I'm impressed with that. Jim Watson, who some of you may remember, hasn't been here for a while because of health issues, has pneumonia. So I sent him a card. Some of you who know him might want to consider sending Jim a card. And Kathy Ferguson is making good progress after falling and breaking her shoulder, and she does love the cards. So if you want to send her a card, that would be great also.
Okay, thank you, Roberta. Birthdays and anniversaries with Kevin Clary.
Birthdays and anniversaries from the 21st to the 27th. We have one birthday. On the 24th, our golden peanut guy, Dick Virgin. He'll be 82. Let's sing. Anniversaries. On the 24th, Susan and Randall Summit will be 42 years. On the 25th, Aaron and Brian Sweely will be 21 years. Let's sing. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary, God bless you. And I have a little philosophy here. It's kind of a poem. A wise old owl lived in an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can't we all be like that bird?
Okay, thank you. Moving into announcements, we'll start off with Charles Smith.
Good morning, everybody. You may remember I mentioned that the Milliken Athletic Department was looking for volunteers. Well, the first opportunity is this Saturday. Then there will be other opportunities on October 4th, the 18th, then November 1st, and November 15th. This Saturday, you can work from 12 to 3 or 3 to 6, taking money for the tailgate area. From 3 to 6, also you can take money at the softball field or the north entrance. But the one I know most of you might want to volunteer for is the one at 4 o'clock until the end of the third quarter. They need 2 adults to sell beer at the south end zone 10. So I've signed Kevin and Norm up for that, but if anybody else wants to go.
You have to be 21 for that.
Well, it depends on your ID.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Dan Seabock.
One thing I got is October 1st, we'll have flu shots here, starting about 8:30. They got a sign-up sheet over on the table. And you can bring your husbands, your wives, in-laws, outlaws, anybody you want to bring needs a flu shot. Just let me know and sign them up. Thank you.
Okay, Kathy Seabock.
I would like to recognize those who assisted me with the carriage house. This past Sunday, we had, there were 15 adults, which included 3 children, and the carriage house is a shelter for homeless women and children here in Decatur. It's about 2 blocks from here, and I'd like to recognize, if they would stand, would be Marcia Torf, Kathy Thompson, and Cheryl Boss. If you'll stand, please. And together we put the meal, and it was delivered. Dan and I delivered it on Sunday evening. I think they really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay, Mary Jean.
Just a reminder for those of you who are going to join us at the cookout this evening, we will furnish water, but if you want anything else to drink, please bring whatever. You can bring beer, wine, soft drinks, whatever. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you all this evening. 5 o'clock.
Okay. Bob Kershaw.
There's several things. Number one, I appreciate everybody signing up, but we still need 13 places filled. Unfortunately, these places are very important because they're all, most of them are Walmart, and the rest of them are places that we normally get a good offering or a good donation. So I have 13 slots that I really need to have signed up before, and if I don't get them signed up, then I have to make some changes before you pick up. Okay, as far as being out in front of the stores, I understand some of you don't know what we're doing, so I'm going to go through it. In each door, we send somebody out to the door. Will have a sign like this that you put in front of you. You will have a TV stand. Unfortunately, they didn't get here yet. They're still in the shed, so I'll have to get those. You will have a apron. You will have a money jar. You will have the first person will pick up the brown bags. These are money bags. One made for each 2-hour period. So when you collect your money after your time is up, you take the money and put it in this bag and you bring it to the KSC hall. And there we will have money counters to count that for it. The last person will be responsible for bringing everything back to the KSC Hall. The sign, everything, including additional peanuts. Now, those who, on Thursday morning, those who are at 8 to 10, I have over here your peanuts. You can pick up your aprons, your money bags, and your signs, but we'll have to make arrangements to get your TV stands to you. On your TV stands this year, we're doing something a little different to help you out, because we don't ask for donations. So I made little signs to put on your TV stand. If it's windy, then put it down here and put your jar on top of it. So basically, we're looking for donations without us asking. So if there's any questions, please come and ask me. It's really simple, and like Dick said earlier, we really need you to be not pushy, but a little aggressive, and just ask everybody, would you like some peanuts? Now, one word of caution, if it's a child, you must ask the parents for permission. So if you have somebody that's, you think under 15 really, you have to ask the parent if it's all right to give them peanuts. So I just want you to know about that. I have here, as far as our goal towards 400, I think we're going to make it. I think we're going to get there. We're almost at 300 right now. I have a lot of orders. I even had an order from Italy come in for us. I hope I don't have to deliver it there. So, no, Mike Avery is in Italy. He called and says, I want to buy a bunch of them. So we're going to make sure he does. So if there's any questions, please hit me. But I really need you to step up and fill these out. Otherwise, I have to make some changes as to who brings everything back. Thank you.
Bob, you might mention where the KC Hall is. KC Hall?
Yeah, the KC Hall is at, it's at Martin Luther King and North Street.
Okay.
Right by the Catholic Church there.
I got a question. At the end of the day, what do we do with all the stuff that we have at our stops? Do we bring it into the KC Hall or leave it?
Those who have it, as I said before, the ones from 2 to 4 will bring everything back to the KSC Hall. The sign, the apron, the money jar, and any peanuts you have left over. Everything, just bring it back to the KSC Hall so the person for the next day can pick it up. And if you're doing it on Friday or Saturday, if you want, you can come to the KSC Hall. If you're doing it on Friday, you can come to the KSC Hall after 4:30 on Thursday and pick yours up. Otherwise, pick it up after 7:30 on Friday at the KSC Hall. We will have somebody there to make sure that you can get it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to make one quick announcement. We're going to do the Kiwanis Celebrate Community. I know the Peanut Day, everybody's concentrating on that, but we're going to do an Adopt a Street. I didn't hear anything between that Friday or Saturday, so I've chosen Friday. We're going to do it at 9 o'clock. We will meet at Oakland and Harrison. I'd love to have 8 to 12 people. If we do that, it takes about an hour. We split it up into 4 sections, 2 or 3 people in each section. If it rains out on the 26th, gosh, I'd like to see some rain for a change. It'll be on 9/27. So next week, I'll be asking for people to give me an idea who's coming, and that'll be on 9/26 at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, I just got a couple of things to announce, and then we'll be able to wrap it up. I did some statistics, looking at what we accomplished with Farm Progress Show. We had basically 96 2-hour slots that we had to fill for the Farm Progress Show to complete our assignment. And those were on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you know, I'm not sure the date made that much difference. But we did that with 41 individuals. Now there were 16 of them that had 2-hour slots. There were 10 of them that had 4-hour slots. There were 6 with 6-hour slots, 7 with 8-hour slots, and usually 8 hours, I shouldn't say 8, but anyway, 4 2-hour slots. How's that? And then one doing 10 and one doing 12. Now, obviously, some of those put in some extra time on this service. But I don't know if my figures came up correct, but I figured we had 52 2-hour slots for the peanut days. Can't we fill those with 41 people? I think we can. So get over there and sign up if you haven't signed up. It's not really that, it's an enjoyable experience. I think we've had reminders here today from Salvation Army of the Day of Giving on the food drive for 2025, and you can be aware of that. One last thing, our theme for this week from our international leadership is M&M. This comes from Mary Geronis, our new I district governor. She says that M&M stands for Membership Matters. So and really we've really been doing well in terms of membership and both supporting those who are coming and getting inviting new members to join us. So we're excited about that. With that, we need to have some laughter from our storyteller.
50-50. 50-50.
No. All right, well, let's do that first. 50-50 drive. And then after that.
Okay, today we sold or received donations accounting to $64. So $32 went to admin, $32 to the pot. That brings the pot today to $123. Last 3 digits, 859. 859.
We have a winner.
We do.
I don't know.
Draw another card.
Once, twice, 3 times, gone. Eight, 4, 7.
8, 4, 7. We got it.
All right, Mr. Gary.
Oh, very cold.
We're hearts. No, we're not.
Right.
But thank you.
Yes.
I need to make one more announcement. I need someone with a truck to help us. I got 40 cases I need to take to the KC Hall, plus the signs and all the other equipment. So I need somebody with a truck and a couple people to help go over there and help us unload this at the KFC Hall right after the meeting. Thank you.
All right, well, let's do the happy juggling for the next few minutes.
I'm happy I have the opportunity to go watch a grandson tonight, so I'm putting in $1. But I'm gonna put in another $1 because I'm gonna miss the meal tonight, the Kiwanis meal.
And I'm happy because Jerry Falstrom is here, Kristen's brother is here, and I've got another dollar. I'm glad Kristen is here.
I am happy because I passed my driver's test.
I'm happy because Cheryl and I had the opportunity to take 3 African teachers that are working at Franklin Grove School to the Sunshine Teacher Store. Charity, who's teaching first grade, got $750 worth of stuff for free, which our club paid their membership. And the 2 men each one got over $200 and one got over $300, and they were very, very appreciative. So it was a really nice experience. Charity and I talked a lot about teaching first grade and what's involved. The other $1 here is just to let people know I brought hats today in case anybody wants a hat before they start doing peanuts. So if you were interested in a hat, I have some with me today.
Okay, I'm thankful because I picked the 3 international teachers up at Franklin Grove and took them out to the Sunshine Club. And also, I'm so thankful that Roberta was there because I'd have had to make 2 trips. You can't believe the stuff they put in their cart. I could not get it all in my car.
I'm happy that my brother came with me to sit and I had the day off, so.
I'm happy I spent the week in Philadelphia with my daughter and grandson.
All right. I think it's Kathy's birthday, I think, or it was recently. I don't know, or is it coming soon? And number 2 is, I don't know. But number 3 is the one that you all enjoy. I happened to be in the parking lot when Bob and Kristen drove up in their own cars. And Bob closed his car door and Kristen's trunk popped open.
All right.
Well, I'm putting $1 in as sort of an apology to the Tennessee fans for Georgia stringing them along until beating them in overtime.
I'm happy because I also passed my driver's test.
All right. One more.
I'm putting in $5 because thanks to Dr. Sullivan and a new hip, Dick Beery is walking again for the first time in many, many months.
All right. Well, now it's time for some stories.
Yeah. So, what is now a long time ago, a new professor came to Milligan. His specialty was Irish poetry. And when he came to town, he wanted local people to make him attend his class and experience him. And so he searched for people, and guess who all the information came to right here. And so I contacted everybody I could, and we had a wonderful group that sat in the back of the room where the lecture we call ourselves the back row. And we became very friendly, began meeting once a month, and we had a theme for each month. And so one time the theme was serious or not. And so it was my time to come up and make a presentation. So I thought long and hard, and here's what followed. Dunn is buried on his side. Very unusual, but here's why. If Dunn was buried the normal way in a grave, all the residue of hot air surrounding a politician Dunn might blow the lid off the casket, and then a cloud of dust and everything else would rise to the surface 40, 50 feet high, and it scared the daylights out of those attending. Or maybe Dunn should be buried, turn the casket upside down, so all the reservoir of hot air from that politician would stay down there. But that didn't work either, because there's so much hot air that the casket at all rose up to the surface, and on top of it scared the daylights out of half of the town. So so Dunn decided to write this to the club, and so Dunn leaves with you. Well, Dunn should he be buried on his side, so that if he explodes, it'll go east and west and not up and down. And that's what happened. At the graveside, you couldn't tell that Dunn is buried on his side. According to that. I have one quick announcement. The Trade Scholarship Subcommittee will be meeting immediately following our meeting today.
All right, well, it's time to end our meeting, so I'd like to just make the rest that we're going to enjoy Dick Virgin next week as he speaks to us about the 50 years after Vietnam War, and of course, as Kiwanis, we enjoy changing the world through our efforts to serve the children in the Decatur community. Our meeting is adjourned.